What can I say, folks? I added it to the story earlier on, and I was just feeling it. That was Davidian by Machine Head, and demonetized and worth every bit. I'll just blur it out anyway at the end, or silent it out, and that's how it's going to go. And we'll still make all that money. A total of 42 cents. So, thanks very much for joining us. I'm late as usual. But I appreciate you all being here, and I appreciate the people in the chat. Any crack, guys?
All good. Did enjoy that soft introduction.
I thought you would. One second, get the background music going here. I'm going to go... Jose, pick 1, 2, 3.
3.
3 it is. Okay. You noticed that I think the music was a little bit loud, the background music last week, so I just dialed it back slightly. So trial and error. Eddie, how are you getting on?
I'm good. I'm doing all right. Yeah.
Good stuff. Anything new? Actually, no, don't spoil it. We'll get to it later on if there's any new arrivals. Phil?
All good, yeah. Busy week ahead. UN inventory.
Tough weekend.
It was a very tough weekend, yeah.
I think the second half, for a while there, I was thinking they might come back into it, but it just kind of never didn't kind of come together for them.
Yeah, just didn't amount to much to it.
Yeah, so it's we got England and Twickenham, I think, this weekend. I think we're away for that, and then Scotland at home. Scotland at home be handy enough, like, you know.
Hey, we won at the weekend. I don't care.
Scottish rugby though, like, as in, I'm a fair weather rugby fan, but I know enough to know that Scottish rugby in the last few years has come on leaps and bounds, like, in fairness. So,
yeah, their best player is South African though.
Oh, right. But the way that it's done though, like a lot of our players are Kiwis. Like, do you know, isn't Lowe? Isn't he a Kiwi?
Yeah.
Bundy Aki, obviously. You know, I think he is he Kiwi as well?
I believe so. Yeah.
I think he is. Or maybe Tom. I thought he was Kiwi.
What the hell is Kiwi?
Kiwi is a nickname for
exactly.
If you're from New Zealand. But, like, you know, it's
okay.
It's a nice.
Are we allowed to say it if we're not?
No, it's not. It's not that type of thing. It's
no.
Maybe in another few years, maybe, but it's
a bird, isn't it?
It's a bird,
an
yeah,
emblem,
exactly.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bird, yeah. So it's a
you Americans are too polite. We would just come out and say it. We wouldn't ask anyway, Eddie.
But it's calling an Irish guy a paddy. Like, if someone I liked were like, oh yeah, it's Shane, you know the Irish guy, the paddy, that wouldn't bother me. Like, but then someone could say it with their tone, and it's like, I don't want to get into it, but it's just like it's condescending. Like, you know what I mean? It can be.
Yeah.
I suppose a lot of things can be condescending if depending on your tone. It's very important.
I'm not Irish, and I could say if anybody called me a paddy, we'd be fighting. So.
Try getting Ian messaging you sheep shagger on a regular basis.
That must be the private chat that goes on between you. We don't get any of that. Folks, we're going to address the chat straight away, folks. Just say hello to everyone. Since it was never my panelist's fault. It's always my fault. So we have the real Nate Diaz, 7829. Is this shipping US already? I presume he's talking about the thumbnail, and I do believe that Vader is indeed shipping in the US. I think it's shipping from Sideshow quite quick, actually. Yeah. Brad just ordered my CCFLs for that Obi-Wan Vader. That red light is going to be glorious. 100%. Yeah, I'm going to do the same. Going to get mine through Art 15 Custom for that Vader. We got, obviously, Phil, channel member and panel member, warming up the chat here. We got Ryan Smith, very, very supportive member, or channel member, but also a supporter of the channel. I really do appreciate that. Ryan, I believe, from the UK, and a big Dark Knight fan, so, like, he's A-okay with me. We got Mike Fail, channel member. Thanks very much for being here. Again, channel member, Tragedy Tales, thank you for being here. Ancient Silver Fox, of course, warming up the crowd. And yet again, another channel member, Caffeinated Comic Fan. The Vader head sculpt drives me crazy. How do you cut that much helmet and not burn his face? Kills the figure for me. Nah. Each to their own. You're entitled to your own opinion, man. I definitely don't think it kills the figure for me. That's make believe. Where do you guys order the CCFLs from? I'm looking to get one for Mando Luke. I actually have one for Mando Luke, and Return to Jedi Vader. I will be getting one for Return to Jedi Vader. I use Art 15 Custom. Again, I get no kickback for that, but they're just the crowd that I went for, and they're pretty damn good. I've had them for over a year now. I had 4 of them, no issues. Keep them kind of 25 or 50%, and no issues. Chris Custom Sabers, I believe, is another source. I have no experience with them, but I've heard he's very, very good. I know Calvin gets a lot from them. Speaking of channel members, we got 12-inch Moose Stream. Hello, community of collectors. I bought 3 Hot Toys over the weekend, 560. Dealmaster Moose. Absolutely. Tell us, what are your sources? It sounds like a pop culture bargain there, I'd say. X-Man Supreme, of course, he's in here, saying what's up to everyone. Thanks very much for being here. We got Yomo as well, who won the giveaway and also was a channel, not a channel member, he gifted a channel member to, and collector Joey got it. Of course, we have the Fox, and we have Jose G. Hernandez as well, warming up the crowd as well. Mark Mitchell, thanks very much for being here. Do appreciate you. Mike is loving the music. It was featured heavily in the original trilogy. If you get around to watching it, you know it's like a big part of Return of the Jedi. Mike, he's yet to watch the original trilogy, I do believe. We got Thalia Meyer. Thanks very much for being here. And I think we're kind of getting up to. I think I've got everyone there. And Jim Collector, just got my Vader in today. We're very excited to open it. And of course, Mike L. Mike had to work today, but usually he's a channel member, usually a panel member, and he couldn't join us today, but he will be missed. Thanks very much for watching. I do appreciate that, Mike. Okay, I will go through the channel memberships and all that kind of stuff, but right now, will we just pick a topic and start and just get into something straight away? Eddie, you're up. What you want to talk about?
Wow. Should we get the snaps out of the way?
Oh, straight in. Okay, let's do this. So let's have a look. So, all right. So the snap game, right from the start. You know the drill, folks. We're going to offer you 3 different choices to make, and you're going to choose which one gets Thanos snapped into oblivion. One click of the fingers, you get rid of all of Peaky Blinders, or you get rid of all of Sopranos. Never happened. Eddie, seeing as you chose, you can do the first choice.
I can see how this might be hard, but since I haven't seen either of these.
Who invites Eddie every single week on the show? Every single week. And then when he does watch something, he says things like, RoboCop is terrible. And then he says other gems, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think Eddie's my spirit animal, and then he goes and ruins it by saying something like that. Man.
I've tried. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes into Peaky Blinders, and I like it, but like it hasn't like made me continue to like binge it. You know what I mean? Like it hasn't like clicked yet. I guess I don't know, but
it comes alive when you get to the 2nd season.
Okay. And
it's slow, but the first season, it's like when you only realize how good it is when you get to the end of the first season. It's like that was solid, but it doesn't knock your socks off. But I think it comes alive in the 2nd and 3rd season, personally. So
like
you haven't watched any of these things.
Yeah, I feel like it's not a fair answer for me. Like, I guess because I started watching Peaky Blinders, I'd snap Sopranos, but also like Sopranos seems like something I'll probably love once I start watching it. So
yeah, you'll love it once you see Adriana Lacerva.
Wow.
Yep. You've been told.
Yeah, so I guess I'm a kind of a moot snapper today for this.
Okay.
One anyway, so.
Grant, we're gonna go up to Phil. So.
This is an easy one for me because I haven't seen The Sopranos, so snap the Sopranos.
Sopranos, all right. I know Jose's
Peaky
probably
Blinders
watched both of these.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh man, you're making me look bad. I'm like Eddie. I have not seen either one of these shows.
You haven't seen either of these or The Crow?
I've seen the pilot of The Sopranos, which I did like. They made us watch the pilot for a television class I took, so we saw the pilot. But so I guess I've seen The Sopranos, and I haven't. Peaky Blinders, I've heard you talk about it. I've seen clips that I did enjoy, but I haven't started either one of them. So I'm like Eddie. I can't really. It doesn't really matter.
I'm actually jealous because you've two great shows ahead of you. Ian.
Yeah, this is a difficult one. I think I need to go back and watch The Sopranos. It's been a long time. I remember watching it at the start and I found it a little bit of a hard watch at first. I thought it was a bit cumbersome. But I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm going to... because I feel the need, I've got to go back and watch it. I'm going to snap The Sopranos.
Okay. I'm on the sides where I've watched Sopranos twice in its entirety. I've only watched Peaky Blinders once, all the way through. Obviously, there's a Cillian Murphy effect, and the fact that I have the two Big Chief Studios figures behind me, which would make me biased because I have the figures, because a big fan of Cillian Murphy, and I mean he's Irish, and also recency bias coming into it. So I'm really trying to be as what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to be as objective as I can. I think The Sopranos overall is a better show. Kills me to do it. I'd snap Peaky Blinders, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Kills me to do it. Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
One thing I loved about Sopranos is that I remember being on TV when I was a kid, and I never really had much interest in it. I'd catch the odd episode, and it didn't matter if it was like season 2 episode 2 or season 4 episode 9, I'd get sucked into it. And even in the one episode, they'd obviously have enough of a story or a hook to make it interesting, but obviously that episode is just one piece in a bigger puzzle, and I thought that was very clever. The way there was enough to hook you in for that one episode and really in, but it was still moving the overall overarching story on. Kind of like The Crown. Not something that I'd be big into. Girlfriend loves it, but I caught the odd episode and she was watching it, and they did enough just to kind of reel me in with the casting and the stories and they told there. So yeah. Right, okay, so the next one, I was thinking about reboots and kind of what I think bad reboots, to be honest, that didn't need to happen. So which ones would you snap, Ian?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it'll be RoboCop. I just thought that was absolutely abysmal. I really like Johnny Depp, even though this was not the best movie. RoboCop, horrible. It's as bad as RoboCop 3.
You could probably agree on that, yeah. Mike, with the definitive snap both, please. That is good. What do you think, Jose?
Alright, so these ones I've seen both of them. I've actually, as I mentioned before, I've only seen the reboot of RoboCop. I still haven't seen the original. So I've only seen the reboot. Charlie Factory, I've seen the original and I've seen this. I like Johnny Depp and I like Tim Burton, so I'm going to snap RoboCop. So, just based on that.
Okay. Eddie?
Yeah, I've seen them both. Don't like either of them. But I think because of Jose's points, I think I'd agree. Like, there are things that I like about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like how it shows what happens to the kids in the end, which is in the book, and the original Willy Wonka doesn't show that. I kind of like that, and I remember more from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Like this RoboCop, even though the actor they have that plays him, like I love that actor. And
Joel
I kind
Kinnaman,
of and I like the way he looked. Like I don't remember anything from that movie. Like even after watching the original, I don't remember if it was like at least the same kind of story, or I don't remember anything from it, even though I saw it. So snap.
One of the things about RoboCop 1 is that how your man dies, it's so violent, so scary, and it like you have a lot of empathy for him. You really do feel empathy for him. Like I don't know, did that come across when you were watching it, Eddie? That was like, this is scary shit. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But this one here is just an explosion. I personally snap. I think they're both forgettable movies that didn't need to be made. But I would personally snap the Charlie Chocolate Factory. I just could not get on board with any of that. And the RoboCop, no, I walked out of cinema going that did need to be made as well. But I think I would probably put it on, turn my brain off, and get a little bit more out of it. But yeah, it's nothing on the original. Phil?
Unlike Ian, I'm not particularly a great fan of Johnny Depp, apart from Pirates of the Caribbean. So, yeah, I'd get rid of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Keep RoboCop. I like
Have
the
you ever
suit design
seen,
in the remake. So,
What's that movie called where he's got the mustache, Jose, and it starts with an M, and he's like Johnny Depp's like a rich playboy. You ever seen that one? That's a really good one, Phil. If you like, it's funny as hell.
It's the documentary on his life, man.
I'll get the name. I'll put the name in the private chat or something. But if you watch that one, maybe it'll change your mind on Johnny Depp.
I think it's because he's always sort of done like Tim Burton films, isn't he? And I'm not
Kooky.
a fan of Tim Burton.
He's quirky.
Mordecai
really
or something like that. It's
Mordecai. Mordecai is like,
yeah.
it's pretty funny, dude. I love that movie. And it's not. I don't think that's a Tim Burton movie. It's not Tim Burton at all. Like, it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah.
Phil, have you seen Blow?
Not yet. And I keep forgetting about it. You keep mentioning it, and I think I'm going to watch that, and then I forget which one it is.
Johnny Depp's awesome in that. Anna is an amazing movie, man. I love
I'm
that.
going to check that out, 100%.
Okay. Just finished watching Griselda, and it just reminded me of like the.
Is it good?
Yeah, Griselda's good, man. Griselda is good. It's a good watch, really good. I'd recommend anyone on the panel watched Griselda.
Yeah.
I'm rubber stamping that, man. Yeah.
Yep, just finished it at the weekend,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was good. I had low expectations, and
Yeah.
I was quite surprised.
It's good. It engaged me right from the start. 39 people watching live. Thank you very much if you're watching live, or if you're watching now on the replay, if you're watching in the future. If you want to support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button as usual. If you want to become a channel member and support the channel in that way, there is a link to channel memberships pinned in the replay chat or in the community tab of the channel. So this one here, making this one, I knew that some panel members would have seen these shows, and I knew that it would be lost on some people as well. I thought this was a good comparison. So you have Yellowstone, which has 5 seasons, which is set in modern times, and that has Kevin Costner. And then you have the prequel 1923, which is about the same plot of land and the same family lineage, but it's obviously it's a prequel. It's only 1 season set in 1923, and that is Harrison Ford. And then there's 1883, which shows how they actually arrived at the land. All top tier TV. I cannot say it enough. I recommended this from Reviews with Rich, and Ian seconded it as well. I loved all 3 of the shows, but I thought it'd be interesting to pitch Harrison Ford versus Kevin Costner. I'm going to go last because I don't know what I'm going to pick. What do you think, Phil? Have you watched both of these?
I have indeed.
Beth Dutton.
100%. I was just going to say, I know which one I'm snapping. I'll keep Beth Dutton and get rid of 1923.
1923 is gone. Okay, good stuff. Eddie, have you watched any of these?
Nope. I tried to watch Yellowstone, and I couldn't do it. I didn't like it.
Man.
I watched 1 episode, and I was like, I don't want to. It's not my thing, I guess.
Yeah, it's man, it's just good TV. Yeah, okay, but look, each to their own. There's a lot of stuff out there. Jose?
I feel like me and Eddie have the same answers today because I'm exactly the same. I tried Yellowstone. I watched maybe the first episode. I couldn't get into it, and then I didn't watch the prequel.
Man.
And I love Harrison Ford. I've mentioned it before a few times. He's one of my favorite actors. So I find it just gets better and better. It's one of those shows like I feel like a lot of people give up on Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad in the first season because it's kind of slow. And what's good about those shows is they need to lay the foundations for the characters so you get to know what they're like and the interactions, who hates who wants to screw over who, what people's motives are. And it takes time. It does definitely take time, but it's so good once you get into it. Like, but each their own. That's fair enough. Like, but Ian, have you watched both of these?
Oh yeah, huge fan. So I watched Yellowstone when it first came out. So like Rich, massive fan of the Taylor. Well, I'm a huge fan of Taylor Sheridan that wrote and created all of this. Who's also in some of the episodes. So I love this, and I loved 1883. But Yellowstone just gets better and better and better. So for me, 1923 wouldn't be there without the success of Yellowstone, but I just feel that Yellowstone especially like Beth. It's just brilliant. So for me,
she's one of the best characters. Like,
yeah. 1923 is getting snapped, but recommend this all day, every day to anybody.
I tend to agree, and if you look at it, Yellowstone's, there's 5 seasons as well. There's more to offer there, and whereas 1923, I really love 1923. I think the standard's quite high. I even loved 1883, and I just thought it was great the way they kept the standard very, very high for them all. But I'm going to snap 1923 on the basis that Yellowstone, there's 5 seasons. It was the original, like Ian said. Also, Beth Dutton, and even like the other characters. There's so many good characters on it. Like Kevin Costner's character is very, very good. The hateful brother, you love to hate him. Rip's got a great story arc. Like, he's just so loyal. It's just fantastic. But I'd highly recommend any of these shows. Anyway, Shane, you shouldn't put clones on the panel. Jose needs a timeout after his 160 wrestling loss. He promised to win. Oh well, what you gonna do? You can't win them all. We got Danny Squatchkin here. I haven't watched it. Is it still up or?
Yeah, I was the runner-up.
All right. I presume there's a chat there I haven't got to there, but Ian's having a good laugh anyway. Right. Okay, so what do we got? So shout out there to oh Jesus. I'm not even acknowledging that. I'm gonna here. Watch your Revolut. I'm sending you back. I'm sending you back the $2. No, I'm not even gonna react to it because people just latch onto that stuff. Fuck's sake. I'm actually sorry. Private joke, folks. Right. I hate you all. I hate you all. I noticed something just before I came on the show. And I have to give a shout out to Neilorific, who...
Welcome to the club, man.
True Lies. There's a movie I've got to go back and watch again. I haven't seen that in about 2 decades. But shout out to Neilorific. He new channel member. And, I don't know, this is crazy. Okay, we got to go full on Clay Davis for this.
Shit, boy. Shit, partner. Shit. Shit. Thanks for your time.
And thanks for this, Mr. Fire Hyper gifted 5 1-6-figure focus memberships. So they're just going to be allocated. How it works is they get gifted to random people who are, I think, subscribed, or I'm not sure if they have to be here live or they're just subscribed. I think they're subscribed, but thanks very much, Mr. Fire Hyper. I really do appreciate that. That's it's very, very kind. Thank you. That's unreal. So if you weren't a channel member until like 5 minutes ago, maybe check, and you might have been upgraded thanks to Mr. Fire Hyper. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. So we got. Who else we got? What else we have? I love watching your reactions, even though I watch Eddie there having a good laugh over Clay Davis. It's just
I love the wire,
yeah, it's
man.
awesome.
One of my favorites.
Never gets old, man. Never gets old. All right, so yeah, that's the snap done and dusted. So what I'm going to do now, before we continue on, is just going to give a shout out to a few folks here. So we are at 3,050 subscribers. Thank you very much. Do appreciate that. And congratulations to Yomo, who won the channel giveaway there about 2 weeks ago. Thank you to Ian, obviously, for very, very kindly donating to Captain America Civil War. And it reached Yomo safe and sound. Shout out to the 45 people watching live, or to anyone watching the replay, or anyone who's taking the time to watch any videos, like any videos, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Also, these troopers... I don't know what's happened in the last 2 weeks, but everyone is going mad making it rain gifting. So like, what Mr. Fire Hyper just did was gifting those 5 channel memberships. I actually gifted a few on the premiere of the Darth Vader. My thoughts on the Darth Vader announcement. We're going to be talking about that too. Aaron Carr, Sin, Zeph. These are all completely random. Zeph76, Ricky P, Blasian Asian, and Matthew Apollo. Then last week, Mike L donated 5, and they went to Toy Mafia, Low-Key Collector, Bubastis 123, Mike Fela, and Aaron Collects, I believe. And if memory serves me correctly, should I say, if memory serves me correctly, it was Eddie Money Mendes on the day I hit 3,000, gifted 5, and they went to JB, Toy Collector, Mark Attack, Casual Nerd Problems, and Cylon X-Men, and then Collector Joey's one was gifted by Yomo. No, Marco dropped a super chat, and then you outdid him with the 5 gifting. Is this my Mr. Fire Hyper? Man, this guy's feeling, or girl, or whoever, feeling really, really generous today. So we got another 5 1/6 focus memberships. I don't know who you are, man. That is very, very generous. Thank you very much. That's greatly appreciated. Happy days. So we got to give him the... Yeah, it's time for one of the most iconic sounds. Yeah, that's just gets you every time. Yeah. There was 5. Okay, right. There was 5. I'm gonna moving on. Mr. Fire Hyper, thank you very much. It's absolutely making it rain. Thank you. Just I don't know what to say. Thank you very much. So they're the troopers that have been gifted. So that slide's going to get a lot bigger next week. So yeah, they get the membership for the month then. So and then they can choose whether to continue on or not. Okay. Shout out to the troopers and the channel member. Danny Spochka, I believe, is in the chat. Obviously, H and Silver Fox is a channel member, panel member. Jose G. Hernandez is right here with us now. Brian Wong, the legend, the man, the myth, the legend. Lovely fella. Been dealing with him over the last few months. He's been working hard to make something happen for me. So, the Ben Thomas Show will always have 800. We got Eddie Money Mendez, channel member, panel member. Caffeinated Comic Fan. Jim Collector, who I believe I saw in the chat earlier on. Lance Knott's Nerd Corner. Check out his videos, especially his Batman review, fantastic. Mugwump, Mike L, who's usually a panel member, is a channel member. Judy from Texas, and Ryan Smith, who I believe I saw earlier on. And of course, the Commanders tier, they have their... we got a new commander that was Neilerific, and they get their YouTube handle, name displayed at the end of all the videos, reviews, live streams, content, just like this. Okay, and we are back in business. So, all right, Phil, you're up. What will we do? What will we talk about?
The Olsen twins.
Do you notice that all the sisters are on the slide? I did that on purpose. Didn't speak on purpose today. Isn't it funny how they started off like really famous, but yet it's Elizabeth who's like actually proper made it the big time. Yeah. So the reason I put in the Olsen twins because it seemed fitting, obviously, that Wanda was released today. But I want to ask people on the channel and people on the panel and people in the chat: do you have 2 copies of the exact same figure, or have you ever had 2 copies of the exact same figure, and why? Do you want to start off with this one, Phil?
I never have. No, I've had different variants of the same character, but I've never had 2 of the exact same figure.
Sorry, I just realized. Sorry, Calvin, I apologize. I didn't hear you.
No worries, sir.
You pop in. I apologize.
No worries. You're working. What's up, fellas?
Hey, Calvin.
Oh, good, man.
Hey,
good. Where are you now?
It's one of the worst times of my days when you're at work, but you're driving right by your house and can't go home. It's the worst.
Oh, that sucks, man. That sucks.
But I'm headed to Orange County to go deliver to the Lion King play, actually.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. So you're delivering stage parts?
Theater. It's either stage or audio or lighting equipment.
Cool, good stuff. Well, I suppose the more you work, you'll be able to afford more of those Jazz Inc. vehicles, man.
Well, as you see, I'm finally back in my own office now, so that's a foot in the right direction. So I can finally start getting paid to go pay those bills now. Yeah, so
excellent.
Happy about
good
that.
Stuff. Good
thanks
stuff.
For having me, bro.
No, man. Thanks. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, that's fine. I've got different iterations of characters, but I've never actually bought 2 of the same figure.
Yeah, gotcha. Cool. I just thought it was an interesting thing just to ask.
Yeah,
what about yourself?
I've wanted to. I don't think I ever have, unless I'm forgetting something. But like, that new Mars Toys Alfred. I kind of want 2 of those to have in different Batcaves. One for Keaton and one for Kilmer. And that Hellboy that came out for the 2019 Hellboy, I used to want 2 of that to display him in both versions that you could display that character in. And well, actually, I've had 2 or 3 501st clones in the past. I don't have them anymore, but I think I bought 3 of those at the time.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
So you've actually you've done that before then.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. What about yourself, Jose?
So I don't have any doubles. I have multiples of certain characters. I have Hoth Leia, Andor Leia. So I have a few different outfits of the same character, but I don't have multiples. The only one that I got close was the Luke Skywalker. I had the Return of the Jedi and the Mando Luke. They're kind of similar, but I actually just sold the Return of the Jedi. We'll get that in the in and out section. But so yeah, I don't have multiples. I've considered it, like Eddie's saying, for multiple like different outfit changes, things like that, but I've never done it. Oh, and fact check, there's technically one more sister, so you don't have all the Olsen sisters.
Say that again?
There's another Olsen sister. I forget her name.
Yeah, but she works in a deli, man. These ones are all actors. That's the whole thing. Like,
She's
no,
a
I don't know
hunchback
where she works. I don't
and
know where
stays
she
in the
works.
dungeon. We don't talk about that.
Her name's Courtney Olsen.
What does she do for a living?
I don't know. I don't think she's an actress.
All right.
I'll look into it if you want. But.
Yeah, I'd like to know, because they're probably all high achievers. If there's, like, if it was just strange. Maybe she doesn't like the high life. Maybe she just like has a normal job, like, and she's actually happy. But then again, Elizabeth seems pretty happy as well. Like, I say that as if I know her. I'm just stop rambling, Shane. Right. So we're moving on. What about yourself, Ian? Do you have any? Have you ever bought 2 copies of the exact same figure?
Apart from Stormtroopers, only by necessity. So like the Mars 66 Joker, with the Toys Wonderland fiasco. So 2 came in. The Green Goblin was the same, but I sent one back and then I sold one off. Bruce Lee DX04, I got the 2 figure pack, but it's slightly different. But other than that, no. But
Tauntauns.
But I just shout out to Calvin. I'm disappointed that his username hasn't came up as the Spank Master. That would have been
What?
more appropriate.
What did I miss here? I think you're muted, Calvin.
See, that's what I get for sharing shit with the public.
Right, that one went right over
Fucking
my head.
idiot.
I might have to talk to you after the show about that one. What about yourself, Calvin? Do you ever have you ever bought 2 copies of the exact same figure?
Give me a couple minutes. I'm going through a bit of a death zone. Come to me last.
No problem. So yeah, myself, I had 2 copies of the DX19. I currently have 1, and my logic was 1 for the Batpod, 1 next to the INART Joker. But then with INART inevitably going to come out with a DX19 style, I sold 1 of them. And I did have 2 copies of the upgraded suit Spider-Man. I had 1 next to Mysterio and then 1 on a drones. And I sold the ones with the drones, and then eventually I was like, right, you're on track to having 9 Spider-Man. What's actually important? So I outlined this in that video I did about every figure I've ever sold and why. So speaking of videos on the channel, these videos are now all live on the channel. So my thoughts on Vader, my thoughts on C-3PO, and my thoughts on Ahsoka. Read the small print, folks. All right, so Calvin, you just
Yeah,
whenever
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Okay,
I'm good.
good.
Well, I'm a glutton for punishment, so I've got 2 Jazzimobiles from his first run. So
BVS.
there's two, yeah, the BVS one. So there's 2 identical ones right there. Just one has the battle kit on it from Justice League, and the other one has just the regular BVS kit.
Wow, that's as hardcore as it gets. I was thinking, like, you've 2 shore troopers maybe, but it's two Jazz Inc. Vehicles. That is crazy, identical ones.
in
Good
my
stuff.
defense, remember this was long before he got to where we are today. I didn't expect to be down this line the way where we are
Yeah.
today. So
Yeah, I don't think any of us, when we were young, thought we were going to be in our 40s collecting toys. To be fair, but I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're here. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot
I'll
of
let
fun.
you know when I get to my 40s.
Yeah. Oh, look at the young guy. Huh? You're not still in your 20s. You're early 30s, no? Early
I
30s.
thought you said 40s. My bad. That was an
Oh,
Irish
right.
accent.
I got you.
you did, but you ain't that far out, so it's all right. You'll be there soon.
Hey, take it easy.
Hey, look, you spend the weekend. You
Me and
spend
Eddie
a,
are pretty
a,
far away, so
Yeah. You come.
Yeah,
I heard you
long while.
saying you want to visit Ireland on a Profi chat, like so. You spend the weekend in Dublin, man. You'll feel like you're 40, like you know. So, yeah, yeah. All right. So, Eddie, did you chose the snap at the start, didn't you? What about Jose? What you want to talk about? Ending floating your boat there?
let's go with let's just do special deliveries. We'll
Okay,
talk about that.
cool. So, yeah. Did you sell anything this week, or did you get anything new in this week, Jose?
Yeah, I had like I was mentioning, the Return of the Jedi Luke, and I had the Mando Luke, and I was gonna try to decide if I was gonna keep the Return of the Jedi version. I ended up getting an offer for it, and for what I was asking, and I just took it. So, sold that. Hopefully, I don't regret it later. I'm kind of thinking they might do a new Return of the Jedi Luke, maybe for the anniversary. Who knows? So that one was a little older, so I felt comfortable letting it go. I haven't got anything in, but I know the Mars Toys Alfred, the one that Eddie has, is on its way. So I have that one, and then the Vader, I got the invoice and should be coming hopefully this week.
Nice. That's Kenobi Vader. Who did you go with for the Kenobi Vader?
Sideshow.
Yeah, it's like they seem to like. It was almost like they had a big batch of them ready to go, and you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Excellent. Thanks, Jose. Ian, did you any special deliveries this week?
Not as in figure, but if you recall, I had a custom from Rovenick Studios. It was a turquoise cowl cape and that. So I worked in agreement with them to get the light blue, so like the Frank Miller, but I've got the yellow. Sorry, it looks like I've got a delay. Yellow emblem here, and it makes a world of a difference because these are not cheap, and I was considering selling it before. So, yeah, shout out to Rovenick.
Is Rovenick a custom maker?
Yeah, he done me a
Customizer.
solid, and it absolutely looks fantastic.
Good stuff. What about yourself, Eddie? Anything land or arrive this week?
Did I don't remember if I talked about Buzz on the last Hope show.
I think you said it was on the way, maybe.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I got Buzz in. I love that hot toy. This is so far. This is probably my figure to beat this year. For like personally from Hot Toys, like I love everything about it. It's a sick figure, and it poses awesome. And I got in. I brought up that segment when we were one Hope show. I think it was like 2 or 3 shows ago. Where would you collect musicians? Because I've always wanted to, and I guess because Mario and Mike, Action Figure Academy, they were talking about it on another show that they got prints, and so I finally got Wincy Studios David Bowie, because I love David Bowie. So I got that in. He's right behind me. That's a sick figure. The likeness is insane. That's a really good figure. And then I have Bob Marley on the way too. So hopefully they do more stuff, because like I said, I love to have Ozzy or Johnny Cash, some other stuff. So those are cool. And then I got this in this week.
That's the Mr. Freeze, the third party
Mr.
one?
Freeze. Yeah. I broke his freaking wrist, so I was waiting for a new wrist peg to come in.
Yeah.
Because it's a crazy long peg. Like, none of my Hot Toy wrist pegs worked, because I have a ton of extra Hot Toy ones. They didn't work, so now I got the new wrist peg in, so I'm gonna pose it up and take some pictures. But standing straight up and down, dude, it looks pretty sick. Like, I know people sent pictures that it was not good, and it is a huge pain in the ass of a figure. So this is definitely one of whatever good pose you can get it into, leave it that way and never touch it again.
Just set and forget.
And it needs a stand too, because for some reason they made the boots like die casts, and they don't move at the ankle or anything, so you have to get them perfectly flat, and it's super annoying. But standing straight up and down, it looks pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna look sick next to, well, he's gonna go in with Kilmer and Robin.
I know what you're gonna say. You're like when they eventually inevitably do Bat Nipples, George Clooney.
Dude, that's the dream. That's the dream. I never thought Hot Toys would do Kilmer, so
yeah, I'm telling you, man, yeah, that's it. I actually need to point something out here because I think with all the mischief that Phil and Mike were getting up to, I will more so Phil, but I completely it was all Phil, I'm gonna say, but I missed something. I actually missed Mike's original super chat, and yeah, man, yeah. And I'm still here. I'm just yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad no one can read my mind now. But we're moving on.
Wow.
All right. So the film.
I should be getting Kenobi, Vader, and C-3PO Wednesday, I believe. I've had the shipment of
That's
this.
a big week, man. They're two, from what I can understand.
Yeah, well, I was expecting 3PO last week, but for some reason they've shipped them both together, so it doesn't matter. It's fine. And I reached out to Tina yesterday to try and get the Bo-Katan head sculpt.
Or are you going to get it rooted?
Going to get it rooted, yeah. But she stopped commissions at the moment because she's catching up, but hopefully not too long.
I don't know much about
Tina. Can I ask real quick, what does she charge for her work?
She hasn't actually come back with a price yet. But I'll get back to you, Calvin, because Dan in Carbonite had it done and he sent me what it cost him. So I'll have a look and I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
I'd say business is good at the moment because her work is so good, like, but I just imagine it's time consuming if it's that good, like, you know. So
I talked to her recently. She told me that I'm almost next. She said she had like 3 more, and then it would be me.
Oh, so. Cool.
Yeah,
good stuff. What about yourself, Calvin? Did anything arrive at the low-key household this week? Any deliveries?
Was not very low-key about it come Friday night. I unboxed my Prime 1 Poison Ivy 3rd scale.
All right.
The Friday prior to that, I had my quarter scale Penguin. And I am currently waiting on the Batwing to be delivered at the door within the next couple hours.
Oh, man, that is a huge day. That is an absolute huge day.
Oh.
That's exciting, man. Do you
already
get the connection for it?
Over here.
No, man.
Yeah. I've got the mount ready to go. Just trying to figure out exactly what corner I'm gonna put it in over the room.
Cool, man. That's looking forward to seeing how that turns out. And myself, I got this guy in. I gotta say, like, I mean, it shipped the same day from Lion Rock as the Tumbler did. The Tumbler got in. The Tumbler is easy, like 10 times the size of this box, but it arrived in quicker. And then this guy arrived in, and I was like, yeah, I'll get to him when I was get to him, because the head sculpt, I was kind of a bit. I was disappointed when I saw the final product. I gotta say, man, I took it out, I posed it all up, and it's got so much presence because of the tentacles and because of the tailoring. And I know it's such a cliche, but the head sculpt, it's not a good head sculpt, just for the record. Absolutely not a good head sculpt. And I will not change your mind on that. But it definitely is, it is better in hand. And I don't usually subscribe to that. But like I said, I've said this a lot of time before, I've never got a head sculpt in or a figure in that looked mind-blowing in reviews and then looked terrible when I got it. Or I've also never got a figure in that looks terrible in reviews and then looks mind-blowing when I get it in. But I think in hand it's definitely not as bad as it's been made out. But I still would say it's a 7 at best with the glasses on. However, when you have it all posed up, just the bloody tentacles are insane, man. The articulation on them, the weight of them, and I have this posing with no standard in it that there was a lot of counterbalancing going on. Like it wouldn't stand on its own, and I had to drag the tentacles forward because I wanted to fall backwards, and I needed the tentacles forward to counterbalance the weight. But that only made the tentacles look more random, which added to the pose, and I actually quite like the pose, but I want to do, I can definitely do something better, but I'm really happy with this. I'm very impressed, but it's so different. It looks really unique. Stands out on a shelf with a lot of very unique pieces. So, anyone else pick anything else up? Okay. Right, so we'll, cool. We'll move on. Mike, this is a good question actually, because that's one thing I was worried about. How is the leading with the Ock? Is there enough room to change up articulation of the tentacles, or is it limited? I can't tell from the photo. Just looking here, there's about 2 inches between the highest tentacles and the top of the leading, and there's about maybe 3 or 4 inches each side. Yeah, you could definitely move around. It's tight, but it's not as constricted as I thought it would be. Yeah, it's going to be smaller than the detail, obviously, like, you know. So, yeah, all right. So let's. I'm going to choose one now, actually, if you don't mind. But yeah, actually, again, I've always said I like the way the leadings frame the figure if you're doing one figure per shelf. But yeah, so I just want to take a look at. All right, so I'm going to pick the present that has the prohibited or banned symbol over it. I think Eddie's going to like this one. What figure that's out now, if it was gifted to you, you still wouldn't want it? Like you would go, you'd literally tell whoever it was, going, I'm selling this. Do you not know me? Just for fun. Eddie, you go first. I feel you got the fire.
So many figures come to my mind. I'm trying to figure out the first 2 that popped into my mind was Cad Bane.
The Doc Ock.
Wow, Doc Ock? No, I like Doc Ock, dude.
The Cad Bane, that's a hot
Cad
take,
Bane.
man.
That's the
Hot
thing.
take.
That's the thing, is like Cad Bane and Carnage are the first 2 that popped into my head, because I hate those representations on screen, but the figures actually look pretty sick. So this is actually it's hard to say, because you know what's probably a good answer? That Sideshow Grievous that like sucks.
Oh shit!
I'd probably throw that away. Someone gifted me that, I'd be like, what the you want me to just, what did you wish me, like hours of stress on my life, or
yeah.
But yeah, for the memes and for the hate that people want on a live stream from me, it would be like, the funny answers are Cad Bane, Carnage, and then that god awful Obi-Wan Vader.
Oh, but you
Kenobi Vader.
Have they not? They've improved it a bit, though, haven't they?
The Vader looks great. The show is fucking trash. So.
But you not think it has like the greatest line ever? You know.
No, don't even. Everybody
like,
keeps quoting that freaking line to
because
me.
it's really good. And
no, it's
do you ever
really
think that
bad.
maybe you're just wrong?
Really
No.
Oh, I thought of another one. RoboCop. If anybody gave.
Oh my
RoboCop.
god! I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'll tell you what. Look, if you ever get a gift of any RoboCop figure, you can take it to me and give it to me for a nice drop-down deal. Friends and family.
Oh, there you go.
And then I'll block you.
Can I say real quick? I legit love Eddie. That's like my brother from another mother right there. But this RoboCop shit is getting old, bro. You can stop it. This slander is ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm a full on going. I can't wait until Eddie comes to Dublin, like, but you'll never see him.
Yeah, right. He's disappearing.
Oh damn.
Oh no, I think he went for a swim with the fishes. Right. Yeah. They are hot takes. That's why I asked you first, Phil.
It's a tough one. Because I don't tend to take much interest in something I'm not interested in, so I forget them quite easily. don't know. I suppose I wasn't particularly keen on the Morbius. Sorry, Ian. I think if I was given that, I'd probably give it away.
That's a good one. That's a good answer.
Okay. Ian, now what you should do is think about a figure that Phil loves and be passive aggressive. Ian stepped out there actually. Jose?
Probably anything from Star Ace. The Homelander comes to mind right away. If someone gave me that, I'd be like, I don't want this. Or the Rocky.
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to steal your thunder, Jose.
Yeah, the Rocky or that Homelander, any of those figures, I'd be like, no, thank you. I'd be like, you can keep those. So those are the first ones that come to mind. Anything by Star Ace.
Okay. Don't think there's going to be too many objections there. Ian?
Sorry, guys. Late Amazon delivery there.
Is it Morbius?
Could you repeat the question?
The question was, we're working off the gift here with the banned or prohibited sign over it, and it's like, what figure if you were gifted by someone you still wouldn't want?
I'm glad Yomo didn't drop in and say the Winter Soldier.
yeah, that's good.
That was actually quite funny.
He did that on purpose.
Oh, we know.
Oh, Jesus. I can't think on the spot.
Do you want me to ask Calvin and then I'll give my take and then come back to you?
Yeah, do that. Do that. Give me a minute.
Yeah. Calvin?
Okay. I'm not sure who the manufacturer is, but whoever did the blasphemy of coming up with those 2 third-party Ghostbusters, those are hideous.
Yeah.
Hideous. Yeah. They shouldn't even put that shit out.
My one is I've been fairly vocal about wanting a Zoe Kravitz Catwoman, but one that actually looks like Zoe Kravitz. Now we understand that Zoe Kravitz wasn't born; she was grown from all the beautiful pieces of DNA in a lab. But that Kivit girl, that was insulting. I just no. Do you remember that third-party version of her? I think it's I don't know, Civet girl or Kivit girl. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it didn't look like her. It was insulting to her. But
I missed that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be picking that one up. No, not good. Another one would be those kind of clunky novelty like Venom Pool stuff. Like, wasn't there like a robotic Deadpool? I really wasn't feeling that.
The hot toy?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was a mechanical. Yeah, the armored one. Was it?
Armorized Deadpool.
Really good though. In person, that's a good. I always want to get that, dude.
Just wasn't floating my boat. Maybe it's because I like the kind of movie screen actor kind of thing. Like, but
I thought you were gonna say Black Adam. I could have swore that was gonna be yours.
No, in fairness, I didn't like the movie, but that figure looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, to be clear, like in fairness, like the head sculpt is good, like the cape is good. I just don't like the movie. But yeah, I really think they've nailed the figure. So in fairness, have you thought about it, Ian, or did I ask you already?
Yeah. No, I have, and I've actually got it in a box in the garage. So I'm a big fan of Top Gun, and I just bit the bullet just to see if I could modify it. Maverick figure from Redmond Toys. It is so goddamn fucking bad. It got put straight back in the box, and I'm that ashamed. I won't sell it. I won't do anything with it. I'll keep it as a lesson. Even veteran collectors make mistakes.
You should go to America and bury it in the same dump with that E.T. game. Yeah, heard that's a thing. Yeah. All right, thanks for that. This is a bit of fun. All right, I think it's your choice, Ian, isn't it?
What's left?
Basically, all the figures and the entire reason people tune in for the show, Ian.
So, figures in the film reel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin too.
Let's go for film.
Okay.
Did I say that right, Shane? Film.
Film. If there's 2 syllables, you got it right. Yeah. Yeah. I think the correct pronunciation is "go fuck yourself, Ian."
Yeah.
You're giving no shits to being demonetized.
No. You know what's a funny thing is though, because there was a few F-bombs dropped like on the show, like, you know, it wasn't in fairness, it wasn't egregious, it wasn't a, what's the word I'm looking for, like, it wasn't excessive, but like then you get hit with the demonetized thing, and then you can request a review, so someone has to sit down and watch us, and I just imagine that poor human being who has to sit down and watch, but then they get back with, yes, we've deemed it suitable for all advertisers. It only once didn't get deemed suitable, but yeah, so anyway. What, you picked the film reel? That's just like a random movie recommendation. Yeah.
So me, can I do 3 quick things? Because everybody knows my love for physical media. I'm going to do something, right? Because I knew you were going to do this. Right? Sorry, I think I've got a delay. Got Oppenheimer in this week.
Nice,
Steelbook. I can tell you right now, with my setup, I see a big difference on audio and visual streaming versus a 4K disc, and that's on my own setup, so I can't speak for anybody else. This was shot in a 65 or 70 millimeter film. Stunning. So that could be 12 to 18K resolution taken down. Absolutely gorgeous. I had this on Blu-ray, Interstellar, again, Christopher Nolan film, and this is again equally as good as I saw in the cinema, much better than Blu-ray. I see a big difference. And a quick one, Fifth Element. This is the UK Studio Canal release. Do not get the Sony release that was in the USA. There's a massive, massive difference. Because it's 4K doesn't mean it's a good transfer. You've got to watch. This is the one to get, and it's beautiful. The fine grain that's on it, lovely. So these are movies I've watched this week.
Good stuff. They're 3 very good movies. So you got 3 random movie recommendations. Anyone else want to come in with one?
Yeah, I'll do a. I'm not gonna do a movie. I'll do a show. I watched the. I binged the new Avatar show on Netflix.
Just started watching that.
The Last Airbender.
Oh yeah,
it's really good, man. It's almost frame for frame the animated show in live action. And the whole first season is the first book of the animated show. And the characters, they're playing their characters to a T, man. It's really good. I like it a lot. It got better at the end too. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the kid playing the Avatar is really good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really, really good. I think him and Zuko and Sokka, like, I kind of didn't like the way Sokka looked in the live action. I thought this guy isn't gonna, but he's doing really good. Because if you guys haven't watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, Sokka's like the comic relief. Like he's like he's like there to protect him, but at the same time he's an idiot. And the kid is doing a good job playing that character. Like he's doing really good. So yeah, it was really fun watch, man.
Good stuff. Yeah. What was its original media? Was it originally anime or a book?
That, for me, it was the show, so I couldn't tell you if there was a book before. It might have been a book.
There was a movie, wasn't it? Was it a movie called
There
The
was
Last
a
Airbender?
movie by M. Night.
Eddie Murphy, was it? Was Eddie Murphy in it?
Eddie Murphy? No.
Wasn't he not? Was he not in The Last Airbender?
No. I don't think so. I don't think he was.
Oh, maybe thinking of The Golden Child, sorry. Completely wrong.
Wow. Actually, you're right. That's a good movie. That's a good recommendation too, The Golden Child. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Calvin, do you have any random movie recommendations for us? Doesn't have to be like tiny indie movies. They could be just like, they could be movies that came out last year that you just recommended. You think it was great.
I finally got around to finishing Dune since the second one's coming out any day now. So I finally got around to finishing that. Not that bad. The first 20, 30 minutes took me forever to get through. I kept starting over and over and over again. And finally I just sat down this last week to finish it. So not too bad. So I look forward to seeing the second one.
Yeah, you can't be tired watching that movie. That's a movie you got to be like
right
sharp for. But yeah, I remember the cinematography was stunning, and the audio, the soundtrack and stuff like that, like really, really good. But yeah, so Jose?
Yeah, to go off that point, I just saw Dune 2, and there was a IMAX fan event yesterday, and that movie it's really something, man. It's I saw it in IMAX, like I said, and it's just
is there a lot of action?
Really immersed. Yeah,
like way more than the first one.
Oh yeah, a lot of battle, a lot of war.
Damn, hell yeah.
A lot of combat, a lot of that. So I would recommend that. Another movie I had on in mind, just a little off topic, was this movie that I was telling Mike about. A few movies, especially Eddie, I wanted to mention it to you because you were mentioning how you saw Madam Web and you thought Dakota was not a good actress, which, that's a bad movie, so what are we going to do, right? But there's a movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon that she's in with Shia LaBeouf.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh, I actually do
It's a
want to
great
watch
movie.
that.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. You should check it out.
Yeah.
I will.
I enjoyed it. Yeah. This could be, with the release of The Crow on 4K, I recommend that movie. That is a movie myself and Jose have not seen, and I will be watching it. It's one of the ones I'm ashamed to say I have not seen. Anyone else?
I was going to say 7.
Dude, I was literally about to say that. That was like, that was my,
sorry, man.
7. No, you're all right. Great minds. It's a good one.
Well, that's a
I'm
great.
gonna pivot. 7's a great call. Great movie. That's a David Fincher movie.
Yes, it is.
Fight Club, Social Network, Alien 3.
You want to hear? You want to hear something that'll might make you hate me more?
Don't do
always,
it. Please
always,
don't do it.
always.
I hate
7.
hate Fight Club. I hate Fight Club, dude.
Oh,
my
Jesus
God,
Christ. Shane,
Oh
kick
my
him
God.
off.
Please.
I just got him wrong. Like, do you know the way? Like,
Listen,
That was great.
we welcome differences of opinions here, but we don't we're not psychopaths. Like, my God.
but
Right,
I
lads,
love
changing
that
the rules. The first rule about Eddie is we don't invite Eddie on the show anymore. Right?
I love that though.
That
I
is-
love that we've got different opinions. I love it.
The thing is, no one can ever say that we all just agree with each other, because that is like the hottest of takes ever. At Fight Club, there was a time when I would say Fight Club is my favorite movie. There was literally a time, and it's always going to be top 10, maybe even top 5. But man, Eddie, what don't you like about it? Please, I want to hear.
I just hated the story. I hated the story and the twist. I hated it. I don't know.
Did you like cop the
story-
twist?
It was.
I definitely did not.
No, I didn't see where it was going at all. So it did get me, but like, just the story of everything that's going on and like him living in poverty, and like it was all. I don't know. It was just dumb to me. I was like, I don't get why people love this.
I couldn't. I would just like the record show. I could not disagree with Eddie more.
Yeah.
And I respect your opinion, but I feel I'm only saying that because I know I have to.
Dude, you guys can. I get it because.
What's in
you
the
know,
box?
obviously-
Eddie's head.
Yeah, I get it because obviously there's a lot of things I like that people don't like, and I love the fact that like that's the one time I don't really like get into arguments or anything when someone says that they hate something that I love, like because I think it's funny that, and I like that we all like.
Now,
have
do they
something
say
that-
hate? Is that a specific word they use, or they just say they don't dislike? Because I've heard you say hate a lot.
Mark Attack last week said that Nolan is overrated, and that
That's true.
Nolan fans are annoying. I'm sorry, Mark, but you're annoying.
Wow, this is look at this.
He's a channel member, but I think
He
was
made it
gifted to him,
personal.
fair to say.
He made it personal.
Yeah,
he
he
didn't
did.
just
No,
say
no,
the
no.
movie. He said the fans. He made it.
Oh, shut up, you snowflake! I'm only joking. I do. No, I appreciate the difference of opinion, but I just could not disagree with Eddie more and could not disagree with Mark more, and not a fan of Taylor Swift either. Yeah, it's funny. You're getting a lot of. I think you feed on this, Eddie. Eddie, there were not enough bat nipples in Fight Club for you. That's funny.
You hate to see it. You hate to see
Leon, great call. Great call. Yeah.
But yet he loves Batman and Robin. So
I just don't know.
I don't watch Batman and Robin. I've said this on air multiple times. I love it for nostalgia, but God, trying to rewatch it, it's not easy.
Yeah, Mark, come on next week. We'll have words. No, it's all right, man. It's all right. I appreciate the supporting the channel and watching. It's all good. Look, be boring if we're all the same, but man, that's a hot take, Eddie. That's like just when I think the takes couldn't get more outrageous. Will we talk about some figures? Everyone's like, no, let's continue to roast Eddie.
Yeah.
All right, folks.
Wait. Let's get the Bitcoin out of the way. Do the Bitcoin.
All right. Okay.
I want to see what that is.
All right. Okay. 1 second. I have to figure out what it is as well. Talk amongst yourselves. All right. Do you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna just talk with Vader, and I just prep something in the background there. So so Vader, which came out obviously this week. Which let's just go through the panel here. Is anyone on the panel now not getting this?
Eddie.
Do I need a
you could be
giant
tempted,
disclaimer?
Surprise.
I need a giant disclaimer.
But
I'm
Eddie,
not
you
getting
could
this.
could you not be tempted on this? You do think this looks good, though, don't
No,
you?
I could be tempted on it. I actually want the Return of the Jedi one because I'm going for OT, so I want that. But if I could find, which I don't think is gonna happen, this head sculpt on the aftermarket or somewhere, I would buy the head sculpt for that Vader.
No, right, okay. But sorry, that's your stance in it. You haven't ordered it yet, but you could be tempted. And you could be interested.
I'm definitely not gonna get it. I'm gonna go with Return of the Jedi. So
Okay, good stuff. Phil, you got this arriving, don't you?
Yeah, it's coming Wednesday. Can't wait.
Okay.
Looking at one of the reviewers' videos though, the slice in the helmet is quite soft along the edge
Right.
compared to the prototype. So that's disappointed me a little bit, but I'm sure it's still going to look amazing though. But yeah, and the light up features. And to be fair, I mean, it's no CCFL, but at least it's got an LED lightsaber and the battery packs. So yeah, looking forward to it.
But like, so you reckon that the slice looks a bit soft, then, is it?
Yeah, so as you're looking at the image on screen, the left-hand side or the middle of the helmet, then if you like, it looks like they've gone for a more weathered look as opposed to like a jagged edge compared to the prototype.
yeah,
But
I
that's
agree.
kind of wouldn't that be kind of typical of Hot Toys when it comes to battle damage? You saw it in the Mark 85, the battle damage version. Sometimes the prototype is a lot more detailed, jagged, edgy. It's more detailed, and then it does tend to soften a bit. Would that be a fair observation?
I suppose technically speaking, if you hit that with heat, I suppose it wouldn't particularly look jagged, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair enough. So did you say this is already shipped?
It has, yeah, it's arriving Wednesday. This and C3PO.
That's exciting. That is exciting.
Yeah,
Good
can't
stuff.
wait.
What about yourself, Calvin? I presume you're in on this.
it's coming. Who do I have this ordered with? Underground with Ray. So yeah, whenever I get that invoice, it'll be coming home.
Excellent stuff. Right. So it's just like, was that like a day one or?
Actually, I believe it was, which I don't do very many, but I think this was one. I actually, during the show, I had Ren's do me a personal portrait of this image right here. So yeah, once I knew it was coming out in figure form, I had to have it.
I'm with you. Good stuff. And then Ian, did yours say yours was? Was it not someone else whose actually ones was shipping already?
Me. Well, it should be. Yeah, I got the invoice and all that from Sideshow, so we're just waiting for them to ship it. But
Gotcha. So they want your money.
Yeah, no, they took it already. So
They took your money.
yeah.
But like it's they haven't actually said it's on the way, but it's
No,
it should be only a matter
I
of
called
time.
them to kind of gauge them and see what's up, and then they said that that they're prepping them and they should be out sometime this week. So that's what they told me. So hopefully.
Excellent stuff. I'm dropping something into the private chat there, guys. Just see if that actually works. If you wouldn't just mind just clicking on it and seeing if it brings you to a channel. Hopefully that will work. If anyone just gives me a thumbs up if it brings you to the channel. Yeah, good, super, excellent stuff. Brilliant, thank you. I'm actually really happy at how this turns out. I do this have on pre-order. I do have this on pre-order with Lion Rock. This and the Return of the Jedi one, and I think if I had to pick one, it would be the Return of the Jedi, to be fair. But this is so unique, and I actually, unlike Eddie, I thought they did a Kenobi overall. I wouldn't give it more than 3 stars, but I thought the highlights were pretty damn good. When he's walking through that, when Vader's walking through that village, just wrecking people, throwing people around the place, force choking people. When he pulled down that rebel ship, I really enjoyed that. The fight between him and Rev was pretty good. And the fight, and I actually really liked the dialogue between himself and Obi-Wan at the end. So I'm just a sucker for battle damage. I agree, yeah, it's softened a bit, but I think I've nearly been conditioned to, when I see these heavily battle damaged prototypes, kind of going, okay, it'll probably be a bit softer. The same as head sculpts, like. But I'm really happy with how it turned out overall. I think it's a W, and I think I'll be using that function. I'm glad I can just plug in the belt and the control panel with a USB and don't have to buy a Fusion for that, because I will have to buy a CCFL, because my biggest, not complaint about this, but it's just those lightsabers they have. Although it's a step in the right direction having them USB powered, I still just don't think they look like lightsabers. They're just like plastic with a little light. I think the CCFLs are better. That's only my opinion. I can understand that people don't want to go down the CCFL route because they're too expensive or they're worried they might break, or I totally get that. Like, but just for me, I just love like turning around and seeing Mando Luke there, and it just looks like he's holding the lightsaber, or Ahsoka dual wielding lightsabers. It just looks amazing. But then again, maybe I'll be here in a few months' time going, yeah, they melted, and you know. That is a possibility, like, you know. So
Can I
yeah,
can I say something about Kenobi really quick in that scene?
is it abusive?
It's my reasoning. It's my reasoning as to why, because a lot of people like it a lot, and the reason why I kind of hate it, well, not kind of, I hate it, is because to me it just shits on everything that's OT. Like, for me, him saying that, first of all, it changes Kenobi's whole, like, life on, what is it? What planet are they at that Luke grows up? Like, it changes, because Kenobi's always felt responsible for Vader. He's always, that's his biggest regret, is, like, he failed Anakin, and that's what turned Vader into Vader, right? So saying that he killed himself, not Kenobi, that changes Kenobi's whole story. And then not only that, but Darth Vader's biggest thing is his constant battle between the light and the dark, and like he's always struggled with that. And then you see the culmination of that in Return of the Jedi, where he finally changes at the end and he makes up for his past mistakes and he kills Sidious. And when they did that scene where he's like, I killed Anakin, it kind of makes him mindless, and like there's no struggle there anymore. It's like a mindless villain at that point. It's just like a dude in a suit, and you kind of lose that Vader aspect behind the mask. And I hate, like, that makes me not love the character anymore.
So you think that, like, do you not think that maybe there was just a bit of him kind of not willing to let Obi-Wan have a kind of like that bit of control in him? Do you not think that he's a bit more like, no, you didn't do anything to me, I did this myself?
That was never, I mean...
That's how I interpreted it, Shane.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't buy that as much.
Or even like a lot of other people have said that, like, it's kind of more... he's kind of nearly, he's not doing too well during that scene there. He's kind of beaten, he's struggling to breathe, and he's kind of like, right, I can't beat this guy at the moment, but I might acknowledge that we were once brothers and it's not your fault. That's actually my read on it, was like, right, this guy, my own master, I thought I could take him, but he's still bloody good. He's still too strong for me. And with all my rage and my hatred, I still can't beat this guy who was once my brother. And now looking him in the eye, kind of going, okay, my ventilator's screwed here, my chest box is screwed, the thing that's keeping me alive is damaged, I cannot beat him now because I couldn't beat him at full strength. But just maybe take that opportunity to kind of go, right, I'm not your fault. Like, that's the way I saw it.
Yeah, and I felt like he was saying, like, why are you taking responsibility for an action I took? I took this decision. I made the decision. It was not you. It was me. That's the way I interpreted it.
And then he followed up with the first rule about Fight Club, is that you do not.
Yeah, but Anakin never takes responsibility for his own actions?
Yeah, I suppose he's
So,
not
like-
Anakin anymore. He's Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
know. That feels more like reasoning with why something that sucks is good than it does what they were actually putting across.
And it goes with the line that Obi-Wan says. He's more machine than man now. Basically,
Okay, but
acknowledging
then
that he's no longer.
your points wouldn't make sense to Return of the Jedi, though. Then how does that all flip at the end?
Because he realizes that if he doesn't actually save Luke from the Empire, he'll have actually no sort of redemption. At least now he's done all these terrible things. He's killed so many Padawans and people that if he saves at least Luke from the Emperor, that he can die with some sort of, I did one thing right, because he's essentially saving the galaxy. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't undo that he slaughtered a bunch of kids, like, but he just had that one little act where he was like, okay, at least I'm going out and I did something right. Like, so I actually quite like the storyline there. Jedi, if you're just joining us, Eddie does not like Fight Club. I'd be interested to hear, Ryan, do you like Fight Club or not? I'm just wondering. Eddie,
You guys
this Fight
made
Club
good
thing.
points. You guys make good points. I don't.
That
feel
is
them,
the
but-
nicest thing I have ever heard Eddie say ever.
Why, thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Eddie. I do appreciate it. Do you know what it is? It's because we're using logic and maybe we're kind of similar.
Have you just been enabled, Eddie?
Absolutely.
Eddie's
not.
trying
I said I
to.
don't agree with them at all, but I see how they're valid points and that someone could feel that way.
Listen, I don't agree that you don't leave home without your back credit card or your ice skates, but like I still let you weigh on that. Like. I think this is insane. I really like it. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's definitely a W. So Phil, yours is arriving. Jose's on the way. Mine, I think I'm second batch or whatever. Like, I mean, I really don't want it to arrive right now. I'm feeling the pinch with New Zealand saving and stuff like that. Ian, is yours en route or?
Later batch on this one, so
Yeah.
I'm all good with that.
Yeah, I'm kicking the can, even though this is a battle damage can. But yeah, and Calvin.
Oh, you asked me. I'm definitely getting this. It's coming home.
Yeah, I thought it was a stupid question asking you, but overall though, like, if you were to like nitpick before we move on to another figure, right? If you were to nitpick, is the battle damage has softened. Where are we on the USB powered lightsabers? Is anyone happy with them?
Negative.
I knew you were going to say no because how many CCFLs are you up to now?
Shit, I've lost count now. 13, 14 with what? Kenobi and another Vader coming in, so probably 15, 16 around then. I don't know. Lost count.
Man, your
But
electricity bill must be true.
there's no way I can put that LED next to a real CCFL in the collection. There's no way I can do the two together.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good answer. It's a good answer. Yeah. Yeah. Good answer. It was a test. Totally a test. But I asked Ian during the week about the Grand Inquisitor. You have an issue with your Grand Inquisitor, Ian, do you?
So sorry, say that again, Shane.
The Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Was it you I was talking to about it, or?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was. But do you have an issue with the Grand Inquisitor, do you?
Yeah. So the when I got that, the little box at the back, the USB. It lit up for a little bit, and I switched it off. And then somebody came in, a big Star Wars fan, to see the collection, and then I'd clicked it up and it wouldn't come on. It was just dead. So that was ultimately it. But I don't have any CFLs because there's a reason I love them, but I need my display set in a certain way that I'm not messing about with cables too much, because it's going to be changing a lot. But yeah, that's ultimately it. So it died after switching on one time.
Right, that's concerning. I'm hoping that's just an anomaly, but that is concerning. All right, so we'll anyone else want to chime in on this one before we move on? Okay.
No.
Right, good stuff. Right, so I'm going to do a bit of a shameless plug now. Yeah, so I do have another channel. It's not as active, and it is about Bitcoin. I'll post it into the chat. I'm not sure will it even allow me to do this. If you want to click on that, if you want to just help out for the sake of helping out and you have no interest in crypto, if you want to give that a sub, I do appreciate it. If you do have an interest in Bitcoin or crypto, I put up videos. I hadn't put up videos about a year, and I made one last week because it's just getting interesting again. Bitcoin does this. It rallies and it just jumps up from strength to strength, usually after our upcoming thing called a halving. Again, I'm not going to get into it, but it has these massive bull runs and then these equally impressive bear markets, but usually the bottom of the bear markets when it crashes are usually quite high. So even the lows are getting higher. That's my point. But the reason I'm putting that in there, obviously I would like to promote the channel there if anyone wants to just throw a sub on it, or if you are into Bitcoin, it'd be quite interesting. Maybe you want to follow the channel or consider it. But my question to the panel, has anyone ever, again, you don't have to give out your financial details here or anything, but has anyone ever bought Bitcoin or any other cryptos, or is it something that you mess with, or have you ever used it to fund any of your collecting? Because I have done that. My only regret is that, two regrets, that I didn't buy more, and two, that I ever sold Bitcoin. I've sold altcoins, but they're crap. A lot of them are just useless.
Yeah, that was the issue for me. I didn't buy many, so I just wasn't seeing a return on any sort of investment, and I didn't know enough about it either, so I ended up pulling the plug on it early last year, I think. Stupidly.
And did you, were you, at the time of putting the plug, were you in profit or in loss, or?
No, I was in profit. It wasn't the peak. I think it probably 50-60% up at the top. I think I pulled it about 40, so yeah.
Yeah.
Should have been patient. Stupid.
Just to be absolutely clear, out of all the crypto out there, the vast majority of them are useless and they're scams, and the place is absolutely rife with shills and scams. So the meme in kind of crypto YouTuber channels is do your own research. That's solid advice. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. That's also solid advice. And yeah, I mean, those are probably only two bits, and nothing else on the channel is financial advice, but they're the only three pieces of advice that you'd actually give out and accept that they're advice. But I have actually I have done a thing called dollar cost averaging, which is where every paycheck you'd invest, I don't know, $25 or something like that into Bitcoin, and whether it's up or down, left or right, you just tip away gradually. And usually on the long term, you have to wait maybe 18 months to 2 years, because it tends to work in 4-year cycles, but most people you'll hear people over the next few months, because it's inevitably going to go higher and higher. So I just want to show you the reason this is on here. I'll just go to Coinbase and just show you exactly what I'm talking about, and then we'll move on to figure chat again. Why is everything telling me to sign in today? I don't want to sign into anything today. So this is really bothering me. Anyway, look, I'm not even going to show that because it doesn't seem to be working for me. No, I see now. Here we go. Gotcha. I'm with you. Have patience, folks. and then I'll address some of those troll chats because they're quite funny. Anyway, anytime Shiny is in the chat, it's usually a bit of sarcasm. So where we go? I can't see what the chat now at the moment, but okay. So we'll go dollars. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just share this tab. Yeah. So the reason I put that on there is because today it's up around $54,500. In November 2021, it hit just under $70,000, and then the crash happened, and of course you go into the bear market or the crypto winter for like 18 months. But there's an event called the halving, and that's going to happen in April, and that's where the supply of Bitcoin essentially drops from 900 new coins every single day to 450. Drops in half just overnight, and it's all like into the blockchain. It's all like basically in the software. It's part of the program, but that is usually followed by a massive rally and then an inevitable bust as well. And what I found over the last few cycles is people that were laughing at you the first time you said you were buying it, every time it peaks, they're the same people come up and going, how do you buy that? Is this a good time to buy? And you're like, no, it's not. It's definitely not. Like, but dollar cost averaging is the way to go. But yeah. Also, I would address this one. Just did a piece of Bitcoin. But there are loads of scams in the market anyway. I just thought it'd be interesting. Has anyone at all besides Phil got involved in any sort of crypto?
Yeah, I've done a bit early, and then I reverted to putting more in a certain fund and getting tax relief. So I've got a high risk.
Are these all offshore accounts? Because it's
no, it's all legit. It's through my company. So I wouldn't say it is what it is because I don't want to make any recommendation, because it's high risk. It's in high tech stock, so you get highs, you get lows, but over the course it's doing incredibly well.
It sounds like your dollar cost averaging as well.
Yeah, and then I get tax relief as well, so there's a double saving. So that's in the past 5 years I've done that, and I've doubled my pension fund already.
There's a certain amount of crypto involved in that portfolio then, is there?
No, it's not crypto, it's a certain tech fund. So
right, okay.
It's not something I would declare stuff publicly because I'm conscious of stuff. I've lost money on certain things.
We're not looking for your social security number and fine details of your tax.
It's one of those things. It's where you're comfortable pushing and where you're happy with risk, right? So, but for me, I don't want to be the richest stiff in the grave, but I don't want to be working till whatever. So it's working for me. In fact, it's working very well for me.
That's what you just said is really interesting, because just before I came on the channel there, or just on the live stream, I was watching this thing, and it was this, I can't remember the name, it was something the Diary of a CEO or something like that, but he had this financial advisor on. He said, like, when he asks people about, like, you know, what they want, and they're like, they want to earn more money, and it's like, okay, why do you want to earn more money? And suppose they want to spend more, and he's like, what would you do? Why do you want more money? And everyone said, because I just want to do what I want whenever I want. But then when people were pushed on it, a lot of people don't know what that looks like. You know, they don't say, like, you know, I want to travel, I want to go sailing, I want to go snowboarding, I want to, you know, start up my own company, or whatever it is, like, you know. But a lot of people, and this guy advocated for 25% of your paycheck going towards the things you love, and I was like, oh, I don't feel so bad about my collecting behind me, or you know what I mean. So he was like, you gotta. He was kind of like, part of it was like, okay, you need to allocate certain funds to your bills and your mortgage and all the stuff that has to be paid, and part of your funds to like short and medium term savings, whatever. But he was kind of like advocating a large portion of your wage to like actually living and enjoying yourself. And I was like, yeah, man, that's the way it is. But Stanley, don't follow it, but I thought Bitcoin collapsed and went away. Yeah, it's been collapsing and going away regularly for like every 4 years, like clockwork. It did it in 2017, it did it in 2021, and in 2017, the event I'm talking about, the halving, happened in 2016, so it peaked 18 months ago in 2017, it collapsed and everyone stopped talking about it, and you keep buying the background. And then in 2020 there was another halving, and then it peaked in 2021, 18 months later, and then collapsed, and now the same cycle has happened again and again and again. But right, so the channel link is there if you want to learn more about it, and I'm going to stop talking about that now because we have a rare sighting of KG the Collector, fresh off the set of Dune 2. That is amazing. Great to have you here, KG. You know, man, if you're free, one of these guys, hit up. I can't use my phone now, but hit up one of these guys on Instagram. They'll share the link with you. All right, Calvin. Just before we move on and talk about a figure, do you mess with crypto or?
Years ago, I was intrigued and looked into it, but I never invested into it. I just didn't feel like I knew enough and didn't feel like I had the right information coming in to take the plunge. So I didn't. I just stuck with regular stocks, bonds, and 401ks. Yeah,
good stuff. And it's just what you said there. There's a lot of people on the internet like shilling and hyping up various different bullshit coins, and to be honest, like 99% of them are just rubbish. But yeah, I would advise if anyone wants to learn about it, do follow that channel, read the Bitcoin Standard and read the Bitcoin white paper. Right, so the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be decided by Calvin. Can you see your screen, Calvin? Or is that awkward?
Looking for a street right now, so just pick one for me.
No problem. Okay, we're going to go with what was released today. We're going to go with Wanda from the Multiverse of Madness. We're going to take a look at that. So I want to kind of let who someone on the panel who's actually getting this can speak about this. Like, I mean, who on the panel is actually getting this?
I actually
Nobody.
may get this
Right.
down.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I may get this down the line, but certainly not just now.
Okay.
I don't have a Wanda or Scarlet
I-
Witch, and I've been waiting for something.
I'm the same way. I think I'm gonna get her. I don't think I have her on order though, but I think I'm gonna get her.
I think they've nailed that likeness,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I think it looks
What
really
are your
good.
thoughts?
Really like it. The articulation in the legs, where she's got her legs crossed in some of those poses. And then there's I don't really like the sort of lightning effects, flame effects and all the rest of it, but there's one pose where she stood there with two red flame effects in her hand.
I'll keep going.
That's
till I
pretty
find
good.
it.
That's
Is
the
that it?
one, that's the one, yeah.
Look at this though. I think they've nailed the likeness. I really like the hair as well,
Yeah.
and the body proportions.
Agree.
She looks great. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
I
This
agree with you.
fixes the issue with the previous version, right, from the Multiverse of Madness.
No
that
seams?
Had, like the seams, obviously with the long sleeve that she's wearing in this version. I think that fixes that issue.
I've never been gone on these electricity effects or magic effects, whatever. I think the head sculpt looks so good, and the body proportions and the outfit and the tailoring, everything. I just took a quick look at this earlier on. It's the first time looking at it on a laptop or bigger screen, but I think this looks super. But then it kind of takes me out of it with those effects. But you don't have to use them. I personally wouldn't use them. But yeah, it's just not a movie that I was into, and it's not a figure I would be looking to pick up. But I think they've nailed it. I think it's another W. I think they're on a bit of a roll here. Anyone have anything they want to say about this?
I don't know what version of Wanda I need. This looks really good, really, really good. But I kind of want the version of her, like what the Artisan is, or before that, like from Avengers or Age of Ultron. Oh, Age of Ultron, because she wasn't in Avengers. So Age of Ultron or that look in Infinity War. I think I'd rather have those two, so might wait to see how the Artisan turns out and decide then.
I think if I had to get one, I'd go for the Endgame sculpted, for the simple reason that it's kind of like, I don't have the whole Endgame line, but it's probably the line that I'm closest to completing. Do you know if that makes sense? Like, I've got the Battle Damage Endgame Thanos, the Battle Damage Mark 85, the Endgame Loki, Endgame Cap, Rocket, Endgame Iron Patriot. So you know, it makes sense. If I was getting a Wanda, I'd get that. I just like the sculpted better on that one than the artisan. But I think this head sculpt looks so goddamn good though. Like,
Yeah.
I really just think this looks very good. Right, if there's no one getting it, so we may as well move on. Well, Calvin, are you interested in this one or? Yeah. Okay. So we'll move on. Yeah, Costa, Eddie. I'm just throwing him under the bus. He did it himself.
I did.
He did it himself.
Usually, that's how it works.
But look, we want diverse opinions here. We don't want an echo chamber. All right. So what are we left with? I think we've done everything apart from
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. Yeah. So I suppose that's makes sense. That's what we're going to look at. So, can I go first on this one?
Go ahead.
I love the way everyone else realized it was rhetorical, but Jose gave me permission.
It's your show.
I like that. That was quite funny though. Come on. That was funny. That was funny. No. Right. Okay. Sorry. I'll stop. If anyone should be getting abused, it's not Jose. It's bloody Eddie. Let's be fair.
The fuck?
Right. I'm gonna say this. As much as I wasn't a fan of the show, I think that every single prototype they've shown for the Ahsoka show the standard has been so goddamn high. And if part of me is kind of like, I wish I really enjoyed the show, because then I could pick these up. But part of me is like, I'm so glad I didn't enjoy the show because I've just saved a few grand. They're all good. Like, Hera is stunning, and it's not that just that their head sculpts are good or the proportions are good or the colors are good or stuff like that. It's the fact that because this was essentially Rebels Season 5, they've clearly allowed their outfits be influenced from the animation, and therefore they have those bright poppy colors. Like, I think that's quite good. I think this girl has a bright future ahead of herself. This Ariana Greenblatt, she was excellent in Barbie. She played the moody teenager very well, and she was very good as the young Gamora in Infinity War. I mean, she's been in like what, Marvel, Star Wars, and then Barbie. Barbie's one of the biggest movies of last year. Like, I think if you're getting this, please do yourself a favor and get a CCFL, because this will not look like this, and it's not going to look like this with the lightsabers they have, or it's not lit up. I think the likeness is there. I like the proportions. This is. What do you think, guys? Is that really fine sculpted hair? Or is it potentially rooted hair artisan?
Looks sculpted to me.
Do you think so?
I think it's sculpted.
I think it's sculpted. Yeah.
Do you think it's just really detailed sculpted, yeah?
Yeah, it's the strands are too thick to be rooted.
Possibly. Could be clumped together though, but then again, they know what they're doing with it blurred out and they have this tease, like, because, yeah. I think a lot of people, I think this was a lot of people's favourite episode. Anyone here?
That's rooted for me.
You think it's rooted? I'm going to side with Ian on this one. I think it's rooted. That looks great. Yeah, this is, I can see why people, and this is 255. You know what though? I was doing.
They look like promo images, like someone shot them like a photo shoot. Yeah, those.
Yeah, I think it's really good, like principal photography or something.
Yeah.
I will say this: I was comparing the sizes of Ahsoka and then Ahsoka the White. There's only a centimeter in the difference. If you're watching in America now, you've no idea what I'm talking about. Just over half an inch, like, it's a tiny little difference between her and Ahsoka. I thought there'd be a bit more, but then again, I suppose she's not a kid here. She's more of a teenager, so maybe she'd already done her growing. But okay, so Jose, I'm guessing this is for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. When I saw this right away, my head went to the fact that I have the Clone Wars Anakin. I got Clone Wars Obi-Wan on order as well. So I saw this and I'm like, it'd be perfect for the display. So yeah, definitely gonna pick her up. The figure, okay. She's too young.
Okay. Anyone else?
I really love this. I really love the likeness of it. I still am on the fence of, like, do I want real life versions to represent Clone Wars for me, or do I want actual animated figures? But the thing that, like, I argue about in my head is like, well, Sideshow's doing the Clone Wars versions of them, and they look good for Clone Wars, but for the money and how good this looks, like this is way better, and so I don't know. I keep going over both of them in my head and like what I want to do, because I don't care for Ahsoka too much either. So, but I do think this looks amazing, and I think they nailed the likeness. It's crazy because like when I first saw it, I was like, dang, the same thing, Shane. Like every single figure they release from this line has amazing sculpts. And then I posted in the group, and someone was like, I think it's off, and I was like, dang, that's crazy that how much people like they see what they see, you know, and who's to say they're wrong? Like if it's off for them, it's off. I think it's
next time you see one of those hot takes, you should comment, I'm Eddie, I don't like Fight Club, big fan of Batman and Robin, and then just see how that works out.
Yeah, I think I've seen that already, but yeah.
So we got Jose is definitely in on this. I'm definitely out on this. It's not even a consideration. Phil?
I'm so glad I didn't pre-order the first. Was it Sabine? Sorry, the first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I didn't invest then, because, yeah, you're right. Every single figure they've released, even the troopers, look amazing. So I'm glad I didn't start with Sabine, because I would have been caught up in the whole Ahsoka line and not. And this looks class. Another amazing looking
That's
figure.
the thing, man. None of them. There's no weak link. Like, you know,
No.
Hera looked great. Chopper looked great. It seemed it was like that kind of meme. Is it with the? Sorry, I don't follow wrestling. Is it Vince McMahon or something like? Do you know that meme where?
Which meme?
There's a guy. He's like really shocked. He's looking at something. Then he like next to him.
Yeah.
You know,
That's Vince McMahon.
Is it Vince McMahon?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like is the laser eyes by the end of it and stuff like that. But
Every single figure looks phenomenal, and it's in a way. I mean, I enjoyed the show. I didn't love the show, and I'm like you, Shane. I'm glad I didn't love the show, because I would have been screwed by the quarter one next year.
Yeah. What about Calvin?
What's the question? Sorry, I fell off. Didn't know what worked.
Pineapple on pizza, is that a yay or nay?
That's a yay all day long.
Yes. All right.
100%.
And then Ahsoka, this Padawan. Are you going down the Ahsoka line? Are you interested in this one? What do you think about it?
I'm still undetermined on this particular one. I'm getting Ahsoka, I'm getting Thrawn, and I think there may have been a third character. Maybe I think the Chopper I wanted. Otherwise, I wasn't trying to do this whole line. So this one, it looks great, but I'm gonna hold off on this one for the time being.
I like someone was talking about, you know, putting this next to say like this and the Ahsoka the White and the Mando Ahsoka, and having the kind of like the evolution of Ahsoka. I think it's kind of cool. But yeah, so Pop Costa has said that not only is the metric system, but now pineapple and pizza is for communists. So, right. I just don't know how to react to that, but it's quite funny. Costa, you need to join us sometime on this. It's funny. I'm getting
I still
thrown
can't
on
believe
this.
sorry, Shane, go on.
Go on.
I was going to say, I still can't believe we haven't got a Balin and a Shin yet, though.
Yeah.
I think they're future internet breakers. I think they'll happen. Yeah. Because I know, you know, Ray Stevenson's passed away and everything, but there could be that kind of, you know, you're signing up for a Disney Star Wars show, we automatically have your likeness rights to produce merchandise. I mean, come on, like, you know, Lucas had the foresight back in the day to hold on to the merchandise rights. I'm sure Disney have the foresight, and you know, I suppose depends on your acting power. You know, someone like Ewan McGregor might be able to do what they want, or Jack Nicholson. But then again, look, we thought that about Harrison Ford. So what do we really know? Harrison Ford can happen. Han Solo, anything can kind of happen, really. Like, but yeah, I think we'll finish up with that there. So seems a good place to finish it. As usual, thank you very much to everyone on the panel who's given up their time to come on here and just chat about figures and stuff like that. and all of the things that Eddie doesn't like. Thanks very much to everyone in the chat. Massive thank you to all the subscribers, and just want to shout out as well a few people here as well. I really appreciate this super chat, Mike. I don't appreciate this super chat, Phil. You know why. But no, thanks very much. And then Mr. Fire Hyper, who not once but twice gifted a total of 10 channel memberships. That's outrageous. I love it. But thanks very much. I do appreciate this. So I get working on the slides for next week. Just going to address this chat before we finish up. I don't think there has been enough time to pass to make me feel the same for the live action versions as I do to the animated versions. I wish Hot Toys did the animated line instead of Sideshow. Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of people were looking forward to those Sideshow ones, and it unfortunately did not deliver. Right, so anyone have anything they want to plug?
Later today, I will be doing the movie review on Casual Nerd Problems channel. Today we're reviewing Dark Crystal. It's about around 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, so I know for overseas guys that's tough. But if you can, check it out. We've been having a lot of fun doing those movie reviews, so it's fun.
Good stuff. So that's on Casual Nerd Corner's channel, yeah?
Nerd Problem.
Casual Nerd... What did I say? Casual Nerd Corner?
Yeah.
Alright, Casual Nerd Problems. Alright, so
Yeah.
Thanks very much. Good stuff. Anyone else? Jose? No?
No,
Okay.
if you didn't watch the 1/6 scale wrestling, it came down to me and Austin, so check it out.
Okay, and Austin
There
beat
was
you
no
well.
way you were being Austin. What the hell? Look at
Yeah.
that guy.
Yeah, in fairness. dude shredded like. So, Ian.
Not for me. It's a heavy work week, so just all quiet and no figure ordering. So
Yeah, it's not the figures that you need to watch. Those bloody module cases. Everyone knows that, right? But yeah, you said something really funny to me in the private chats earlier on. Something about like not pre-ordering anymore for a while, or thought that was hilarious.
listen, this is like
I think your account's been hacked.
no, honestly, this is a unusual period for me. So I've got a lot going on with works at the house, so I have to
Menopause.
save up. I have to save up, and I'm not the dark-haired young man I was before, so I can't go sell my body down the docks. So
Okay, well, we
So-
know what Ian is to do after the stream, so yeah, right. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us, Ian. But let's see how long this no pre-order thing lasts. I give you 3 days. Calvin, where can people catch you?
What am I on? Say What Wednesday, good old LWO on Friday. And I'll refrain this time from telling more stories from my bachelor party, because ain't no holding it against me.
Yeah, that's by the sounds of things. Just like to plug LWO, great bunch of guys. They're available for weddings and children's birthday parties. So if you've got young kids and you'd like to catch them on the replay, I highly actually no, I'll take them up if you're watching overseas. Get them up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and sit around and watch LWO. It's yeah, you won't be disappointed. They'll love it. But no, shout out to LWO. They're a great bunch of guys and good fun. So yeah, look, we're going to leave it there, folks. And yeah, thanks very much for everyone for the support that you do at the channel.
Just want to say,
Yep.
I was on Feezy's channel on Saturday night talking about some
Stuff.
1/12 as opposed to 1/6. So if anyone wants to check that out.
And how'd that go? That's only half the crack though, isn't it? Like,
There's half the crack, yeah.
yeah.
It was very good.
Good stuff.
Triple G was on there, so
All right, good stuff. Excellent. I see Pete is doing a. He's doing a charity night as well. I can't remember when it is, but he's doing a stream. Is that this Friday?
it's either this Friday or next Friday at 9 p.m. I believe.
He's doing like a charity stream, and then
Yeah.
all the proceeds go to, I think it's mental health, which I thought was a great idea.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's Triple G Comics. If you're watching, folks, give him a sub, check him out. It's doing that stream for a good cause. Right, folks. See you later. Thanks a million. Do appreciate it. Good luck.